I don't appear in Celia's most famous work until about 80 minutes into it. What do I do while I wait? I asked her, and she said, enjoy yourself, Vicente. And I did, because this was still 2 years before her death. In the piece, she boarded the Metro-North Railroad, wearing nothing but a one-piece bathing suit, black, not even flip-flops. At her side, she wrapped her arm around this rather cumbersome inner tube, very bright yellow, with orange letters made to appear as if they'd been splashed across the tube. They spelled wipeout. She made sure to get a window seat on the left-hand side so that she could watch the Hudson all the way up, and her inner tube, being so big, took up not only the seat beside her, but the one in front of that as well. Another assistant she worked with at the time, some kid from Cooper Union, she recorded it all with a camera from the seat in front of her. Celia was almost always smiling. She didn't have a single coughing fit that entire day. But you can see in the recording that the other passengers wanted to complain. This woman in a bathing suit was taking up 4 very nice seats. But at the same time, who could get mad at a woman so delighted to be riding the train with her brand new inner tube? When she got off at Cold Spring, she walked down Market Street and toward the Hudson, rolling her tube alongside her the whole way. I pulled up to the dock in a wooden speedboat and threw her a rope. She belly-flopped onto the tube, rolled herself over, and yelled, "Okay, Vicente, hit it!" I pushed the throttle forward, and just like that, Celia Merode was skimming across the Hudson River behind the speedboat. I whipped her around, making tight figure eights that sent her giggling across the air. Celia would later say how she felt the smooth rattle of the tube skimming over the water, bumping along so fast that she'd lose her breath. Anna Maria and Margaret were there, spotting her from the passenger seat. Celia lifted her head and pointed gleefully to my starboard, where an 80-foot yacht was coasting toward Manhattan. Its wake eclipsed the opposite shoreline. "That way! That way!" she said. So I turned the wheel hard, and she waited, eyes wide open, smile as big as a balloon as I dragged her closer. When she hit the wave, the tube went 45 degrees, 75, 90. When she went airborne, she said she hung suspended above the river for just a moment longer than she anticipated. It was an extra second that almost made her feel as if something was not right. It could not be true. She hadn't truly grown wings, had she? And then she dropped and broke the surface of the water. When her head popped out of the river, she gulped huge breaths of air, but she couldn't stop laughing. She laughed as she bobbed in the water, and as I pulled her onto the back of the boat. She laughed as she hauled the tube and heavy wet rope on board behind her. She laughed as she unscrewed the tube's air valve and pressed out the air, capturing what she could in a large mason jar. She laughed as she screwed the silver cap back onto the jar. She laughed when she placed the jar in the center of the U.S. Pavilion of the Venice Biennale. And she laughed when she titled it Leftover Fun.